So today we will understand more about the EC2 instances. Like suppose we have created our first virtual machine. Now in that virtual machine, we want to put something. Maybe we want to run one simple website or simple hello world kind of program from that virtual machine. And then what are the various types of EC2 instances we are having? What is the pricing model? Actually, pricing model is really important. We need to understand means what is the cost factor involved, whatever various EC2 instances are available with that. And then something called AMI. So we can say it's like Amazon machine image basically. We will understand more on this as well. And then some FAQs are there related to the EC2. So these are the things today we will cover. So first thing like user data, EC2 user data. So what is that user data we need to understand? If we are creating any instance, number of steps are involved for that EC2. We are on the way we are giving, okay, how many instances you want to create? I want to create maybe one instance, two instance, which VPC you want to use? Do you want to enable the public IP or not? And then like this further like security groups you want to add, you want to create some further like storage, you want to maybe change some configuration related to the storage. So like this number of things we can do or means during the creation of a EC2 machine. So this is basic configuration. There is one more configuration, we call it like user data. So what is the purpose of user data? If we see here, EC2 user data is used to automate boots tasks such as installing updates, installing softwares, downloading common files from the internet, anything you can think of. So basically, what is this user data? So user data is something on once our machine is getting boot. During that time, if you want to install some softwares or some basic requirement should be there, like one machine is there. We want in that machine, once my machine is ready, I want some minimum thing. Maybe some one programming language should be there, one antivirus software should be there. These are some minimum requirement. So one way is there, once my machine is ready, I will do this stuff. Means I will manually install the Java or maybe any other programming language, or I will manually install the that antivirus software. One way is there, once my instance is getting ready, at that time if I can instruct okay, these are the softwares I want in my machine, these are the programs I want in my machine during the booting time, so that that will be helpful. But this is like just one way they have given, but very less people use this actually. But this is the one way. I think you guys understood, right? What is user data actually here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if we see, this is our step for 1 to 7 steps are there for creating a one virtual machine or EC2 instance. During the third step, config instance, we are having something. If we will scroll down the page, we will have something advanced detail. So here, if you see, this is the user data option is available here. So here we can write the like this something. So now the point here is for this AWS DevOps certification, you no need to aware so much about the code. Means you some samples code will be available during the code. Directly we can use those sample code and complete our task. So here, if you see the purpose of this code, maybe you guys are aware or not aware about this code. The purpose of this code is once my machine is getting ready, I want to install one web server in my machine. Web server in the sense, one server is there, in that server some HTML files will be there. So those files I will access basically through browser over the internet with the help of public IP. So it will show me some kind of web page. Web page in the sense, here we are just displaying, if you see, we are displaying hello world from host name. Host name means basically my machine IP address or my machine host name, we can say, from some HTML page. So as of now, we no need to take care of so much about this code. Simply we will say we want to display one message from the web server. As of now, we know whatever EC2 machine we have created, that is not doing anything. We want to give one task to that machine. We want to put some code there, and we want to access over the internet that code, and we want to see whether that whatever that public IP we are getting, with the help of that IP, we really able to execute it or not, or we really able to see it or not. So this is the purpose of user data. Now, as I mentioned, we are putting some web server related code. So, and that thing we are accessing over the internet as well. So if something related to web server, we are accessing it over the internet, then definitely some protocol will be involved. For example, if you see this sessions.pptx, here one protocol is there, HTTPS. This is one transfer protocol. Without this protocol, you will not able to communicate. If I open these slides, here also some HTTPS is there. Even on management console also some protocol is there. So always some protocol will be involved. It can be, we can say HTTP or HTTPS, but nowadays HTTPS will be more. So same thing here, if we see, as we know, in EC2 instance, anything we want to do or anything we want to access from the internet, but we have to define the security groups. Without security groups, we will not have permission to attach or access that particular data. So for that, we are attaching the rule HTTP here in this case. We are not attaching HTTPS because for HTTPS is the secure protocol. HTTPS is more secure compared to HTTP. That good. We should use HTTPS in that case. But HTTPS involved some certifications. Means you need to certify, means your host machine and the other machines. So some further steps are involved. So as of now, we are not aware about the certification part. Certification in the sense it's not AWS certification, it's the security certification. So we need to enable one HTTP in this case. Once we will add like this one rule, anywhere in the sense, anywhere means in the world will able to access this website or my public IP basically. So this is the one part. So this is the same thing, means we want to do some EC2 instance, so we want to have some user data in that. So once so that my machine will boot, that code it will work. Or we can copy the commands, whatever that code I showed you, directly in my machine and it should work. So that is the both are actually same case. So how to access the data? As I mentioned, we will access the data with the help of HTTP, because we have given in security group HTTP, not HTTPS as of now. So like this, then colon, and this is some like public IP. So we need to ensure whatever this IP is we are giving here, we should give that public IP. Private IP will not work. Private IP we will able to access within the network, but public IP is something outside the Amazon network. We are trying to access it from the web browser. Is it making sense how this thing is working?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will do that part. But first, before doing that, we will do that thing at last. Basically, first we want to understand the instance types, some theoretical part. Okay. So yesterday we saw in the instance type, so many varieties of instances are available, like T2, T3, M1, M2, so many. Means we will just scroll down. I think it will come 50 or 60 varieties will come for one particular type. So how they categorized those instances, so that we will try to understand little bit. It's not like something directly will come in the exam related to this, but we should aware about it also. So the first category is general purpose, then sorry, compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerated computing, and the storage optimized. So the purpose, how they divide, if you see, it's more like configuration or hardware configuration wise they have divided. Maybe if you see general purpose in the sense, if you're running some simple business, you means normal load is there, not so much no so much means traffic is there, just limited work is there, and you are able to manage that limited work. then maybe you can go with the general purpose instances, EC2 instances. Some categories will come under this. If you are having some, really you want some performance, you want to run some jobs, you want to run some jobs in the sense some parallel things will happen in your machine, huh? Then in that case, maybe you want some compute optimize. Compute optimize means you will get some better CPU in this machine. Memory optimize means you will get some better memory in this machine. High memory you will get. Your website is really required to store a lot of data. So you want better memory, better RAM that in your machine, then you need to use the instances from the memory optimize. Otherwise, something called accelerated optimize is there. So it's like very, very high CPU, like 124 or like this, some high cores will be available here. So where we use these kind of things, we used this kind of thing like in stock market, where a lot of data will come and go and we need to show frequently every update there, or we gaming industry we use these kind of things. Gaming industry is one industry where always high end computing will be used. And then storage optimize, where you will have more storage and more information you can store there, that kind of instance is available. If you see, it's like variety based on your need you can do. If you will go to the market and want to buy one laptop, so many laptops will be available, or so many configurations will be available. You can buy, means high optimized thing, or so many CPUs you can buy, or hard disk you can buy, means with lot of size you can buy. But somewhere you need to decide that. So that deciding factor is always there, right? Even personal touch also, that deciding factor is there. You will think, okay, what is my need? Do I really want some kind of 8 CPUs, 16 CPUs? But definitely if I'm going to buy 16 CPUs, price will be more. Or I can, my work is just doing some office work and some normal playing thing, watching videos, some normal thing only I want to do. So I can use 2 CPUs also, 4 CPU computer also. Do I really need to go for 16 in this case? It does not make sense to me. So like this, you are taking decision at personal level. So at the business level also, you need to make decision what type of instances you want to buy. Amazon is giving us varieties of things here. So this is like first thing is general purpose. If we see in the general purpose, so many things came here. T3, T4G, Mac, T3A, T2, M6G. First thing, we no need to remember this name. Okay, we just need to remember here what is the meaning of general purpose instances and what categories are involved. Like T categories, this is T, M, and A and Mac, like these 4 categories basically involved. If you see here, we are having T3, Nano, Micro. These are just naming conventions basically based on the hardware configuration. So if you see, 2 CPUs are there. How many CPU credits? Some 6. Memory 0.5. EBS storage. Yesterday we saw some storage attached, right, during the creation process. And network performance up to 5 Gbps. So if you see T2 micro here, this is like this structure is there. T2 small, they're increasing slowly by, they're starting with the nano, very small instance, small configuration, then micro, small, medium, large, extra large. And if you see 32 GB, here we reach in memory. This is just means this one screenshot, but it will reach further also based on the instance. So it's just a configuration thing. We can see varieties are available. For general purpose also, you are having lot of varieties here. So this is like one way. Then next is compute optimize. Compute optimize, if you see the category, C category here. So C, 6G, these are the some naming conventions. And then memory optimize. Memory optimize will have designed to deliver fast performance for workload that process large data sets. So any example where we really require to process large data set? Any example? So we can say this large data set in the sense like somewhere we want to run some analytics. Okay, lot of data is coming. From that data, we want to make some sense. For example, like whatever we are doing in the browser, right? Google is tracking that information. So based on our behavior, means in 1 year you have accessed this website, this kind of things, or this kind of news, or this kind of things you are watching. So based on that 1 year data, Google is running some analytics on that data, correct? After running that analytics, Google is able to understand, okay, this person is more interested in this thing, so they are showing that kind of advertisement to you. So based on your interest, they are showing those advertisement, correct? So that is what actually, this is like some data set. Basically Google is having that data set and they are running on that thing. But the point is the data set is just for me as of now. But Google, so many people are using Google, so many customers are there, so many users are there. So that is like large data set. If they want to run analytics, they will not run personally for me, right? Analytics, they will run at huge data set level. So once they will run that thing, they will require good data that infrastructure also, or good hardware also they required. So maybe they can take memory optimize. This is like just one simple example we can consider, where we are having huge data and we want to perform some operation. In that case, we required some good perform machines. Then accelerated computing. So these are also some instances are available here, where we want to go further some good amount of data processing, graphical processing, or some calculations we want to run. So we are having this kind of options. Then storage, we are having for better storage purposes. If we want where we will have good input output operation, so we can go for these kind of machines. So everywhere naming convention will differ. If you see here, naming is now I, D, and H. That naming convention got changed. So these are like instance explorer is there. So once you will click on this, this is actually one URL, you will redirect to one website. So see, it is opening here, instance type explorer. So whatever I explain, like every if you want to understand more about the instances, you can simply go to this website here and you can read. So like this, so they will give you ideal use case where it will use, what are the key technology here, every information, one card kind of thing they have developed here. So that is very useful actually, for ideal use case will be there. But for the certification perspective, we no need to understand so much in this. These are the just varieties of instances are available, we should aware. That makes sense. And what are the different categories, like memory optimize, storage optimize, that also we should aware. So like this it will come there.